Okay, so thank you all for joining our February ROSC Council meeting. We have a lot to go over today, so we're looking forward to getting some feedback from everyone on our strategic planning process. Before we jump into that, I want to give a little bit of time to Jeanette to toot some horns about the Recovery and Action Committee and some great things that are coming up on the horizon there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I appreciate everyone joining us. Thank you so much for your patience, but just for your continued commitment. Yeah, we had an awesome meeting. We typically meet on the first Wednesday of the month at Heartland Community Colleges, who's opened their doors for us at 5 p.m. Unfortunately, that day we were also bombarded with snow and nasty weather. So we postponed and met the following Wednesday, which was on the 9th. Super happy to say that there were 8 folks that came. So we almost doubled in size since our last meeting. So that is really incredible. We were definitely always talking about ways that we can get the word out there's a lot of ideas about building and creating different things, whether it be events or that type of thing. But we actually took the time to take a step back and look at kind of what is our low-hanging fruit, right? For lack of a better term, what could we be doing now to strengthen what we already have? And then identify the gaps before we start growing. And so one of the examples of that is just having a comprehensive list all in one place of meeting times and places. Just something simple like that. There are meetings that are happening. Unfortunately, they're not always advertised as well. And so that's an example of something that we are looking into to kind of build up what we already have and therefore have a better, picture of what the gaps are and how we could fill those. We're always looking for more folks to get involved. One of the things that we're really clear about is that, in order for us to truly move into a space of a recovery community organization, we are going to need everyone at the table. And so from continued people with lived experience, just knowing that an RCO operates with 51%, at least 51% of people with lived experience on the board. That's really an important fact for us all to know and to recognize. This effort can't happen just like it could, as we understand, we have to have people with lived experience at the table, but we have to continuously have you all and our partners and our allies, our stakeholders and our service providers. So we are going to continue to see the areas in which we can create more foundation before we branch out and start building or planting other things as well. So definitely have a committed group of folks. If you know anyone who's interested at all, please send them our way. Like I said, we meet the first Wednesday of the month. Next month, it'll be March 2nd. We have some other kind of ideas that are coming forth as far as on our social media to do some more education and kind of some fun things and some interactive things. So those are things that are being talked about and how we could, of course, we're all learning to pivot with COVID and figuring that out, but super excited, have a motivated team, not just folks who have been there from the beginning, but like I said, we doubled in size and that doesn't even include all those who couldn't make it on that last week, who intend to be here next month. So I think we have some really great and exciting things coming forth.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette. Angela, yeah.
No, I was trying to applause. I was not, and I'm excited about the participation.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah.
Actually your pause, Ange, reminded me of another announcement that I'd like to share. It's not necessarily the Recovery in Action. However, it is some information that I found really important. I spoke with Teresa Orick from Unity Point or Tazwood last week, and I was informed that the Safe Passages program, which was, I think most of us know, but those who don't know, is kind of a program set up through the police department in different communities. Apparently it was something that was created and kind of replicated throughout. Hadn't found a lot of success with it being at the police department. Obviously, that's not a place where a lot of folks really want to go when they're struggling in that situation. So the word that I got was that Safe Passages is now will be going through or Unity Point or Tazwood as the place to refer folks, and they will then help people walk through that process. So the information I received that the anyone who is referred to the police department and anyone that you may know that are looking will all now be referred to Tazwood. So that's you know, some updated information that I think is important for all of us to know as well.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jeanette. And we will also, at the end of this meeting, just like last month, we're going to have a section from now on that's a little silly, toot your own horn section, but giving everybody a chance to share something exciting they know about recovery that's going on. This is an effort to break down some of the silos that we feel like exist across the recovery communities, and is a really great way for us all to kind of know what everyone has going on. So that's something that I'm planting that seed now so that you can think about what it is that you'd like to share when we get to that section. Okay, so we are pretty much completing our strategic plan at this point. As most of you know, we've been working on this document for some time. It is the culmination of the deliverable schedule of our first year. And it is also, in our opinion, a document that we hope to refer back to over the course of our ROSC to touch base and make sure that we are following through with the things that we say we're going to do, and that we're being strategic in how we're getting there. So we worked on the SWOT analysis. We reviewed that together. Today we are going over the sort of completed document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen. So for those of you who don't have the computer and are calling in, if you would like for us to email you this document, and this goes across the board. If you'd like us to email you this document when we finish up today, just shoot me an email or shoot Jeanette an email, and we will respond to that with a PDF copy so that you can look it over in as much detail as you want to. So I'm going to switch screens here, and feel free to stop me at any time, because we're going to go, obviously we can't go through every single thing because it's too big of a project for a 1-hour meeting, but I want to kind of touch on some of the high points. And I want to shout out to Randy and Jeanette and Nadia, who helped substantially with the review and the building of this document. And we knocked it out as a great team effort. So thank you, ladies. Okay. All right, let's get back to the beginning here. All right, so can everybody see my screen? Give me a quick head nod, thumbs up. Awesome. So you recognize our logo here and probably our mission statement. But it's important. So I want to touch on this for those of you who haven't had a chance to sit with this yet. The Logan Mason ROSC mission statement: we want to be improving access to health, wellness, and holistic recovery options for people who are at risk of or suffering from substance use disorders, while educating and connecting Logan and Mason counties to reduce stigma and improve recovery outcomes. So that's a lot of words, but that really sums up what it is that our ROSC is trying to do, and the reason that we all are working so hard on this. So again, I am happy to email this document to anyone who wants to see it in more detail, but I do want to focus a little less on this part and more on the kind of high level overview. So I'm going to skim, if that's okay with everybody. I want to make sure we leave time at the end for us to toot our own horns. I do, on the other hand, want to touch on these two sections. So as we have conducted our needs assessment, as we have gone into the community and hosted events and done things, we've come to several conclusions that we feel strongly about. Many of them are conclusions that we had going into this process. However, we want to make sure that those are highlighted here. So we believe recovery is possible. We believe that individuals may have many paths to recovery. This is important because recovery looks different to everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all cookie cutter approach that works for every single person that's struggling. We believe that people in recovery and their families can and should determine the services that they need. We believe that recovery communities translate to improved community health outcomes. When those communities are strong, they support one another. We believe that addressing our co-occurring mental health, economic, and social issues can create an integrated approach to recovery and improve outcomes for people struggling with substance use disorder. We also believe that words matter. Addressing stigma around recovery, around medicated assisted recovery, and around substance use disorder in general can help increase understanding and opportunities for life in long-term recovery. This kind of is the core. This is the center of everything that is in this document. Every single thing that we are strategically planning around is based in these beliefs. And we really feel strongly that having that person first mentality across the board is beneficial not only to the individuals that we're serving, but also to the community as a whole. So trying to reframe, and that will be a struggle, as I'm sure all of us know, stigma is a huge obstacle, particularly in rural communities. And we face challenges that don't exist other places like transportation. We talk about transportation all of the time, but you know, up in Chicago, you can give somebody a bus pass. In Lincoln, that's not going to help. So we have to tailor everything that we're strategizing specifically for our communities. So we've structured our strategic plan around 4 central concepts and goals. These concepts are access, opportunities, awareness, and advocacy. So these 4 core ideas make up all of our goals. Within our goals, we are strategizing objectives, and then we have measures of, you know, are we following up on all of those strategies? So hopefully that makes sense when we get to it structurally. And feel free to jump in and stop me at any time. For those who have attended the past couple of meetings, you will recognize our SWOT analysis that we finished up together. I've done a little bit of grammar editing because I was typing really quickly during that meeting. But other than that, I don't think we missed very much that was major in here. So I'm going to, again, skim over this part of the document. Okay, so I'm trying to think how to say, we have taken the attitude that we want to focus on actionable items. We want to focus in the areas that we feel we can have impact. And that has been a core component of our strategic planning also. We don't want to set ourselves up to say, oh, we're going to create a public transportation system. And, you know, realistically, that's not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. Let's think of ways that we can actually make a difference and make an impact. So I did mention that here. And I also mentioned the pandemic very briefly, because we do recognize that there are obstacles to some in-person meetings when numbers are high or when, you know, there are restrictions in place. So we want to make sure that we are strategic about when and how we are planning get-togethers, just to make sure that we're being safe and that we're not going to have our awesome events canceled every single time we plan them. Right, Jeanette? All right. So here is how we have laid out this document. Again, I'm going to kind of skim because we can't read every single thing here. But I want to go ahead and mention and thank everyone here, because our first goal to improve access to recovery supports and services, we feel we are well on our way with this first objective. We've got a great ROSC Council. You guys show up to our meetings, you participate, you answer our emails. So round of applause for the ROSC Council. We did the thing where we made a to-do list, and the first thing we put on the list, we can already check some of the boxes. But we were really grateful, and we are so excited to be working with all of you within our community to try to make a difference. So we want to continue to build increased attendance and participation from people with lived experience here in this council. As Jeanette mentioned, our eventual goal with our ROSC is to become an RCO and to hand this project over to people with lived experience and a board of comprising at least 51% of a board of directors that wants to continue the work. Everything that we're doing, all the foundational work that we're doing, is to lay the groundwork for that eventual RCO. So trying to strategize in that direction and make sure that when our time is up, there's not just a void where the ROSC used to be, there's actually something sustainable in its place. That is our primary goal here. So we would like to grow our council participation. So here is my shameless plug. Next month, I would love everyone to invite, and they may not show up, we know, but invite at least one more person. And let's see if we can't get a couple more people that are passionate about recovery work in our area to participate, to bring their voice to our table. So keep that in mind. Who's not here today that should be here? And we're going to keep asking that because there's new people all the time. So who should be here? And obviously when we get to the end of year one, we will be re-looking at this document, going through and making any necessary edits, and also giving ourselves a little chance to check in and see what our progress is like. These outcome measures are the things that we are going to be checking in on. So as this example is first and easiest, did we grow our council by the desired metrics? Did we increase involvement from people with lived experience? Did our council serve as a forum for expanded awareness of recovery supports and services? And did we do our state required meeting minutes, post the recordings on YouTube, and obtain appropriate MOUs from the folks who are participating? So does anyone have any questions on this format? Or it's, in my opinion, relatively straightforward, but I've also been sitting with it for the better part of several months. So somebody jump in here.
I think it's a great format. I love the way that it has the outcome measures in it that point directly back to the objective. I think it's really good.
Thank you, Nell. Does anyone else have any formatting feedback or anything ROSC Council related that I've missed in this little section before we move on? And I'm just going to glance at the clock the entire time to make sure we have time at the end. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and scroll through. What I'm going to do, I think, in the interest of time, is I'm going to read through our objectives and highlight a couple of them where I feel like we got stuck, and see if there is any input from the large group. And again, I will email this to anyone who wants it and would love your feedback. Our deadline is March 1st. So you've got a couple of weeks to look it over. It's not like I need it back tomorrow or anything like that. All right, so here's a big one, and I would love some feedback on this particular objective if there's anything we haven't thought of. Working to advocate for improved transportation options to facilitate getting to and from recovery services. So is there anything here that is outside the box that we haven't thought of, or that you know something that's going on? Because one way to look at this ROSC Council meeting is we're all getting together in a room to gossip about recovery. And if we know what's going on and everybody here knows what's going on, we can share that, and that's just going to spread. I'll let everyone kind of read. And one of the ideas that we came up with that we didn't put in writing because we don't know the viability of doing so, but was to advocate for getting a couple of people signed up to be Lyft drivers and finding a way to supplement, you know, with either Lyft credit or something else like that, that there would be a few more ways to get around. Not sure how we would execute that, which is why we didn't put it in writing, but it is an idea that we've had. Anything here? And I know that we skipped a page to get our outcome measures. So as you can tell, the ones that we weren't sure on, we left wording a little bit more vague, just because we want to work to do things. We want to make progress, but we also don't want to set ourselves up to, you know, not be able to execute one of our large objectives. Everyone is very quiet, I guess, reading.
I'm having a chat with Sue in the chat, and
very good.
She had mentioned sober living, so as that is part of access locally to sober living, which is working on an objective about housing options. But then I also want to clarify if it was transportation to or from, or actually having options for sober living as well, or recovery housing, I should say.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm just going to go through. I'm going to move forward. So we, again, feel strongly that supporting multiple paths to recovery is important. So we want to support and advocate for increased harm reduction, MAR, and wraparound services. Are there other options? So here in strategy 3, are there other things that are available, could be available, that we may not have awareness of? Anybody on a provider level or?
Well, I'll just take the second, because I'm not sure if everyone was here for our last meeting, but getting the information about SIU at the health department, starting the MAR program there, and there being no waiting list at this time, but having that option and access for Suboxone and partner with counseling, as well as having access to a peer coach or peer, I don't recall the actual, right, peer recovery person. I don't recall the actual title. It was something a little different, but yes, pretty much offering peer support. So that is something that we can happily share, and thank some folks in the room for helping make that happen, Andrew and some other folks that have gone before and alongside him. So that's an exciting change directly here in our own community, to have that available.
Excellent.
And then, hey, Rachel, real quick, this is Andrew, Family
Yeah,
Guidance
hey,
Center.
Andrew.
On that harm reduction piece of it, so I've linked Amanda Lick with Nadia and Randy. And so what they're wanting to do, she works for Emergent. So that's the manufacturer for Narcan. And she has a goal, and she wants to have a Narcan distributor in all the counties in Illinois. So if someone's willing in Logan or Mason County to be a Narcan distributor, and we can plug them into the DOPP program, which is free. And so you guys won't have to get it from other places. You guys will have your own Narcan to distribute into the counties for Logan and Mason. So I'm sure Nadia and Randy will get more information on that. But I just wanted to just to say, instead of having to go to Peoria or to Springfield or like have someone deliver it to you, guys can just have your own and order it straight from the manufacturer as well.
That's amazing.
Okay, so that's kind of something
that's
huge
wonderful.
that they're going to do. Okay.
We'd love to touch base on that and, help get that set up, whoever that person might be.
And perhaps that could even be something how the Recovery and Action Group can participate, and maybe that's the avenue that folks, so that more people have access to a pool of resource.
Yeah, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, and that's in addition, Andrew, I'm just in the initial email, that's in addition to Access Narcan project and the DOPP project, like this.
Correct. It'll be all together. So what Amanda does is she links agencies for the DOP program. So
Okay.
if you guys need help getting signed up, or like I said, you'll probably have to find it an individual, and it can go through the ROSC, through the Logan and Mason. If you guys want, if you guys have an individual there that wants to do it, you guys just sign up, and then you guys can start distributing Narcan into your guys' county. And like I said, I know Sue's distributing to you guys and I'm distributing to you guys, but I think it'd be good if you guys just distributed on your own. And so you didn't really have to rely on us just in case something, God forbid, something happened or whatever. They're just wanting to have each county have their own distributor. That's what initially. And I talked with Kathleen from Super, because she oversees the DOPP program, and that's what they're wanting to do as well. They're wanting to really empower these communities and these counties on their own, so they can do it, and that could be through the public health departments or whatever it is. So if you guys could find someone who would be willing to do that, that would be cool. Like I said, we could maybe see if probation wanted to do that, I don't know. I'm just volunteering people right now. I'm just saying, whoever would be willing. I know, like I said, if someone would be willing to sign up and set up an account, it's super easy, like I said. And Nadia and Randy will get more information on that. But I know that's kind of like her goal, is to have every county have a Narcan distributor, instead of just having to people have, I have to bring it to you or whatever. You can just have your own stuff. So
yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's
Yeah.
awesome. This is why we love doing these meetings, you guys, because you just never know what's going to come of it. So keep bringing the ideas and the news, and we're gonna. All right. So another big one here in the access category, work with partner organizations to increase access to recovery housing. So again, kind of the high level zoomed out version of that. Let everyone have a second with it, and then I'm gonna move a little faster because I'm looking at the time. But we are going to measure that by, obviously, did we continue to discuss ways? We don't have the budget to open our own recovery house, or we would have done it already, but we want to help support that happening in any possible way that we can as a ROSC. So keep us in the loop. All right. We want to increase access to mental health services to provide whole person care. This is another kind of evolving category, and we want we want to make sure that the whole person is receiving help. It's not just, oh, you're getting treatment for your substance use disorder and then that's it, because it doesn't treat any of the underlying causes. So mental health, incredibly important from an access perspective. Opportunities for multiple pathways to recovery is another access point. So another kind of a large category here. We have a lot of irons in the fire and a lot of things we know that are working on coming or on their way to being available in our area. So kind of continuing to stay on top of those things and support where we can.
Hey, Rachel, I want to knife in just real quick. I think it's important when you were talking about access to mental health providers and whatnot. I also am involved with the Mental Health Advisory Council for Logan County. And we met last week or a couple weeks ago, I don't recall, but the last time we met, there are some real exciting things going on with behavioral health. And with their strategies of incentives to bring people with more experience. How do we keep people, right, who in our area once they get here, creating different ways for people to feel like they have room to grow in their positions. So just sharing that, I thought it was a very exciting, really a comprehensive kind of shift in the way that they are really working hard to hold on to experienced counselors and to have more of a variety. I definitely know that they hear that options is important. And so just wanted to share that tidbit that there is just some really exciting things coming in the pipeline when it comes to that effort.
Wonderful. And yeah, we want to make sure that we're staying as informed as possible so that we can inform all of you and make sure that everyone knows the same stuff that's going on. Okay, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. Our second goal is to increase opportunities for people in recovery. So we want to do this in a few key ways. Our Recovery and Action Subcommittee is a huge one. So we have some lofty goals here. We want to make sure that that group continues to grow. And we want to make sure that we are supporting activities, events, anything that could be going on within that group that we as a ROSC and we as a general ROSC council are doing what we can to support those initiatives. So again, laying infrastructure for a board of directors is key. So making sure that we are adding people and adding people that want this work to continue instead of just to kind of dissipate when the time comes. We want to, so this is a big one, and I'm relatively sure we've talked about this within the council, but I'm not sure everyone here has heard it from us. We would like to sponsor people with lived experience for peer recovery specialist trainings and certification through Heartland Community College or other credentialed programs. So who do you know that would like to receive these trainings, that would like to take these steps for those opportunities, to take their experience and turn it around and help people? Keep that in mind over the course of really the next few years, because this is going to be an ongoing goal. We want to make sure that that we have the budget and the bandwidth for helping folks to receive these trainings. So please, please, please bookmark this in your mind and say, who do I know that would benefit, and send them our way. Like, we would love to sponsor some people.
And even if you just need a little support on explaining exactly what it is, or, everyone here knows that me being a person with lived experience, hearing about an opportunity to earn such a credential, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know it was a true shift in my mind of knowing that some of the things that were most difficult in my life made me most qualified for what I'm able to do today. And that's just a game changer. So anyone that you may even know that's interested and want to hear more about it, please give them my contact information. I'd love to share about it. But this is I think, a big piece of the game changer of how we continue to move recovery forward.
Absolutely. I think that there's a lot of opportunity here. So having everything be communicated clearly and making sure that the people know that we can do this is key. We want to encourage participation in some existing trainings and educational opportunities. And as those of you who were here last month know, Faces and Voices has some great options. There's all sorts of, of additional training opportunities, not only through them, but through, a host of other resources. So kind of networking and making sure that we're all aware and we can share that information with anyone who might benefit from attending those trainings. So again, gonna skim because we're running out of time. Our next goal is awareness-based. This is the very short way to sum this up is we want to work to reduce stigma around substance use disorder in our area. We recognize that this is a very tall order. We know that this is going to be an ongoing challenge, but we want to continue. We want to continue the work, and we want to continue executing some of the things that we feel have been successful. So again, gonna skim because there's a lot, but every September is Recovery Month. We were really successful, I feel, with our recovery walk last year. Jeanette and Randy, thank you for doing that while I was having a baby. But we're looking forward to doing something again in September, as well as additional opportunities to showcase some positive outcomes and give people a chance to tell their story. So between that and our social media push, if you haven't already followed us on social media, there's my second shameless plug of the day. Please make sure you do so. We have Facebook, Instagram, and a YouTube channel where all of these great meetings are posted for your viewing pleasure. So again, kind of coming back to opportunities for people to share and connect. Additional community events, both in person, hybrid, and virtual. So kind of again, gonna kind of skim here because we're running out of time. We want to make sure that we're increasing communication around what the ROSC is doing within Logan and Mason County. And this is maybe something else that we can strategize forward as a council of how do we get in front of business owners, governments, other community members that might have access to folks who would benefit from knowing what we're doing and knowing that we're here to help people. This is also where I've put our social media goals. So we want to get to 250 people across all platforms in our second year. So like and follow us, please. Little bit of focus on college campuses. We want to make sure that we're reaching out to our young people and not only working to reduce stigma, but also to work in coalition with prevention teams that have a presence on college campuses. So that's something that we are also going to be focused on. And we have to continue to maintain our up-to-date evaluation, strategic plans, and assessment data. Having up-to-date data and lists of providers and all of those things has been an ongoing challenge for really everyone, I think. A lot of moving pieces and people drop off, new people join, keeping everything up to date, making sure that we have the right up-to-date information to share with people is another key objective. And lastly, we want to create a culture of advocacy for recovery, offer a way for new advocates to add their voices to the recovery conversation. I am going to skim this section because I want you all to be advocates right now. So anyone who wants to see everything else, you know how to get in touch with us, and I would be happy to share that document. It will also go onto the GovState website at the end of this month, so you'll have access to it there as well. It is time, everyone, for us to toot our horns. So I'm going to go to my cute little trumpet slide. All right, so what does everyone have going on? What have you heard that is happening? We've already shared we're adding MAR services, which is very exciting. I know, celebration. What's going on?
I just want to speak up here for a minute here. Rachel and everyone on the ROSC here for Logan and Mason, this is awesome. My name is Barb Brumleby, and I am working on the ROSC for Livingston and Ford counties, and we're kind of right behind you working on the strategic plan, and just wanted to get that out there. And anyone on this meeting that knows anyone in Ford and Livingston County that thinks, you know, they know someone that should be at the table, please reach out to me or Nadia and let us know, or let your friends know. That would be great. So just wanted to get that out there, and we're excited to be getting to your point of the strategic plan. So that's all I wanted to say.
Congrats, Barb. Who else? There's got to be something cool going on. It's February. It was just Valentine's Day. Coming into springtime. What else is going on?
I will give you an update really quick. This is one of those low-hanging fruit things, but at Lincoln Memorial Hospital, we are creating like a resource bag for nurses and our folks that work in the emergency department, that they can grab specific to some specific issues with resources in them. And so we will be doing that, of course, with substance use as one of them. So we're collecting that information and putting it all in there. Anybody has anything they want to add, of course, I'll put the recovery group in there, and substance use treatment options. And we just want it at the fingertips of the folks who have in that moment access to someone who is looking for those resources. So I'll update you on that.
That's wonderful. What a cool idea.
Hey, Angie, I might have something to add to just us creating that one sheet of current recovery meetings going on. That may be something we're going to get printed out. Maybe we can add that to your bag.
Yeah, that's important. That's important for us to collaborate on, because we already have that card that, and if it's outdated, then we need to update that. If we could just update that and have that one source of truth, that would be lovely. So if you have updates to that, let me know, because that has the other side of it too, not just with the recovery stuff, but the treatment stuff. And yeah, let me know what's wrong and let me update what we've got already existing.
I will update. I will send you updates. I've just collected them. So
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Angela, could you share your contact info in the chat? Because I have some things I could probably give you for the bags as well. We've got different brochures. Some of them are like tips on how to stay sober and different things like that I can kind of show you some different things. And if it's something that looks like you'd like to add in there, then I can get you a whole bunch of them.
Yep, absolutely. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What else?
Yeah, I see Kim mentioned Rotary. I actually had the privilege of going to Rotary and sharing about the ROSC early in our beginnings. So that definitely is a good contact or resource to help get the word out about what we have going on. So just want to acknowledge that.
And I just found out that the city of Lincoln will be doing third Fridays again this year. So the first one's going to be May 20th. Everybody wants to get that on their calendar for some outreach opportunities.
Thank you for that.
Awesome.
So yesterday, me and Zachary went to Pekin, and we had somebody put a bid in on a house. So here in about a month and a half, we should have another house in Pekin.
Ah, wow. Wow. Exciting.
Yeah, it
Thank
should be number 4, assuming that the women's house goes through okay.
Thank you
That's
for sharing.
wonderful.
Yes. Ethan, one of the things we talked about too is as far as people educating ourselves or learning more about how we can contribute. And I'm talking about the Recovering Action Group. We also talked about perhaps you joining us for a meeting, or we can attend a meeting that you may already have talking about Oxford houses, just so that we can educate ourselves more and help people prepare for when the opportunity comes about.
Yeah, I'm always willing to talk to you guys and see how I can help in any way. Sue, are you talking to me, Sue? For the contact for houses? So Zachary would be for that area. He's the one who's overseeing Peoria and Pekin. But you can always check out the oxfordvacancies.com, and there should be somebody who lives in the house's number and name on there to contact for like interviews and stuff, or like just a point of contact for each individual house. So, but I can always help navigate that, of course.
So, Ethan,
That's
thank you
wonderful.
for the update, and thank you for hanging in with us.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely foresee a house here as well in the future.
I'm hoping we can in the future. I'm hoping we can make something happen.
Yeah.
Who else has something great going on?
Andrew, you're on here. Do you want to talk about what we're up to with Lincoln Hospital?
Oh yeah, cool. So we're so Lincoln Memorial Hospital, we're in the process of establishing a warm handoff program in the emergency department through Family Guidance Center. So we're gonna work with Lincoln Memorial Hospital and Taylorville Memorial Hospital. We're still kind of in the early stages of it, just getting the logistics down. We're gonna meet with Angie and some of her colleagues and kind of see, what the need is, the volume. Is it we need somebody full-time, we need somebody part-time. So I'm really excited about that, getting some services in that hospital for individuals that come in the emergency room that need that. So I'm super excited about that. So I was waiting for you to drop the bomb, Angie. I didn't know if you wanted me to or not, or if it's kind of premature yet. So I believe it's going to work out.
It is
like I said,
premature, but we
Right.
believe it. We will achieve it. And so
That's
no,
right. That's right.
you're the one
Yeah.
bringing it to us. So I let you.
Right. Yeah.
You've told
so,
us all about it now, so it has to happen.
Yeah, the word's
Yep.
out now. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm super excited about it, and I appreciate Angie for really pressing it, because it had been on the table for a while, and then it kind of went away. And then if you guys know Angie, she's like, "No, we're not done with this yet. What can we do?" So I got the right people involved, and they've approved it, and we just have to figure out, just figure out the logistics to how to make it work there. So we got the money to do it. So it's cool.
Woo!
Woo!
And thanks, Angie. Thank you for being so flexible with the scheduling. I know I've canceled so many meetings with you, and so we're trying to get it together. And I appreciate you working around our schedules. Because not all of us work on President's Day. You know what I mean? So some of us are off. So I'm staying home. I got a 5-day weekend now, so I'm good.
That's real life. That's real life.
I know, right? Right. But I appreciate you, Angie, and I appreciate Lincoln Memorial Hospital as well.
Well, thank you. When you work at a
Mhm.
hospital, you don't recognize holidays. So I didn't even notice.
But that's all I really have right now. As far as with Family Guidance Center, that's what's going on. I mean, we always have openings if individuals are needing services. You know, we don't take any commercial, so we're all just straight Medicaid, MCOs, none of that private insurance stuff. So
Awesome.
if you guys have any individuals that need services, just feel free to message me or get a hold of Randy or Nadia. You guys know how to get a hold of me. Okay.
Can't hide from us, Andrew.
I'm not trying to. You guys are stuck with me on front. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I try to bring some stuff to the table for you guys, so something to offer.
It's an awesome thing,
Love
Andrew.
it. Denise,
Thank
did
you.
you have something?
Sorry. Yes, I was just going to share. We do currently have a few openings for men and for females, which is rare. So give me a call directly if you've got somebody you're looking to get into services. So that would be for any payer source.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Denise, have you connected with Teresa, or had you heard anything about Safe Passages going through them now?
I had not heard that. So yeah, I'd definitely be interested to connect with them and learn a little bit more because, you know, anything that we can do to further that program, I think is great. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they do for like clients that are needing residential, since Tazwood is outpatient, but I think that, you know, anything we can do to further that program will be great. So
Yeah, we'll have to chat about that, because that's exactly it. They'll only be the referral service instead of folks having to go to the police department, but they will only be available during work hours as well to do that referral. So, but the goal is that they'll be doing the footwork as far as making those calls. So I think it'll be a good idea if we can help connect y'all so that she, you know, so, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that sounds great. Yeah.
Definitely connect y'all.
Awesome. Well, we are at time. So being mindful of everyone's schedules, I want to take this opportunity to thank you all. And as always, you know how to get in touch with Jeanette or I or Nadia. And we can absolutely collaborate more on our strategic plan. If anyone would like a copy of that document, just let us know. We would love to send it to you and get some additional feedback. We will send out new Zoom, thank you, Nadia, new Zoom info so that we don't have any issues with our link next time. And with that, we'll say, stay safe in the snow, everyone. If you are at work, drive safely home. And if you're at home, make a cup of tea or something like that. And we will see you all next month. Our next meeting will be March I clicked out of my screen. 17th. Thanks, Jeanette. March 17th, third Thursday at 2 p.m. So, thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.